Konnichiwa, Japanese Amo no Misa desu. Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you how to count things in Japanese. So if you are not a complete beginner, you probably have heard of the infamous Japanese counters. So depending on what you count, we use different counters to count things. So for example, to say one in Japanese, we say ichi, right? Ichi. But if you want to, for example, say one person, you can't say ichi plus the noun for a person, which is hito. So you might think, oh, it's just ichi hito, right? No, it's not. You have to say hitori to mean one person. Hitori. So if you've learned some kanji, you'd recognize these ones maybe. So the first kanji means one and the second kanji means person. So it kind of makes sense, right? It's just the reading is a bit funny, I guess. Hitori. But take a look at this counter. Ippon. Ippon. The first kanji means one and the second kanji means book, right? So what do you think we would count this with? You think it means one book, right? No, unfortunately not. But it's actually used to count things that are long and cylindrical. So for example, pens. When we translate this sentence, this is a pen, we would translate it like これはペンです。これはペンです。So in English you guys put a pen. So you can't just say this is pen. You have to say this is a pen, right? But in Japanese, whether it's singular or plural, we don't really care much. Unless you really want to say that it's one pen, there's only one pen, or that there are loads of pens. We don't really care about how many pens there are. But let's say we really want to say there is one pen, this is one pen. Then I would say これは一本のペンです。これは一本のペンです。So see, in the kanji 一本, it says one book, but it's really used to count things that have this kind of shape. So when you want to count pens, or bananas, or fingers, or umbrellas, we use this counter, hon, or pon. We'll get to how to count 10 pens or 100 pens. First, you guys should focus on the most common counters. Let's review how we count from 1 to 10 at least. If you already have learned that, you can skip this bit. Okay, so how do you say 1? 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, or shi. When do we use yon and when do we use shi? So it really depends on the word. So when you want to count things like for vehicles, for pens, we would use yon. So it would be like yon hon for long cylindrical objects. But when we count from 1 to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe you're doing exercise, we would normally say 1, 2, 3, 4. Not many people would say 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of people would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 when you're exercising or when you're counting things, right? So we would say shi there. So when you want to say 4 years old, we would say 4 sai because sai is a counter, 4 sai. But when 2 kanjis or 4 kanjis make one noun, for example, we have a noun shiki, shiki, which means 4 seasons. Like in English, 4 seasons, they are separate words, but in Japanese it's one word that means 4 seasons. In those jukugo or compound nouns, most of the time we'd read it like shi, so shiki, or there is a word shikuhaku. It kind of means like to struggle. So shikuhaku, again, it's one word that means struggle. So it's not like shiku plus haku. In that sort of situation, we normally read the kanji 4 as shi, but it's not always. So sometimes it's shi, sometimes yon, but that's the general rule. So just remember that most of the time when we count 4 things, like 4 times, for people, we would use yon or it could be yo. So it's best to remember 4 as yon for now. Anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7 or 7. Again, it's like the number 4. We have 2 readings. 7, which is the Japanese way of reading, and 7, which is meant to be borrowed from Chinese. So again, when you count 7 things, most of the time we use 7, not 7. But unlike 4, 4 or 4, this can be interchangeable. So when you say 7 people, you can say 7人 or 7人. This only happens to the number 7, where you can read in 2 different ways. There is a film, Seven Samurai. The Japanese title is 7人の侍. 7人の侍. But it doesn't mean that it's wrong to say 7人. Obviously, when reading that specific title, you want to say 7人, not 7人, because kind of like changing the spelling for people. When you want to write the name Stephen, you might write with V or you might write with the PH. You can't change the title, but you can say 7人 to mean 7 people. But again, most of the time we use the reading 7 when counting things. So let's remember 7 as 7 here. So 5, 6, 7. And then 8, we say 8, 8. And then number 9 is 9, 9. But this Q could be read as ku sometimes. So when we want to say 9 o'clock, we have to say 9時, 9時. Or when we want to say September, we say 9月, because that's 9th month, but it's not 9月. You have to say 9月. Anyway, again, most of the time we just use the reading Q. So yeah, Q. And then 10, we say 10, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you try? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. From 11, we think more like 10 plus 1. 11 we say 11, 11, right? 12 we would say 10, 2. So 12, 12, 13, 10, 3. 13, 13, 14, 14, 14, 15, 10, 5. 15, 15, 16, 16, 16, 17, 17, 17, 18, 18, 18, 19, 19, 19, 20, 20, 20. From 20, English does the same thing. You say 21. So we would say 21, 22, 22, and so on. So once you learn from 1 to 10, you can say any numbers. So 10 is 10, 20 is 20, 30 is 30, 40 is 40, 50 is 50, 60 is 60, 70 is 70, 80 is 80, 90 is 90, and 100 we say 100. 100. So let's learn how to talk about age. So when you want to say 1 year old, we say 1歳, 1歳. So 歳 is the counter that's used for counting age. So you'll see this 歳 after numbers to mean year old or years old. So remember that in English you can just say I'm 5 or I'm 10 to mean I'm 5 years old or I'm 10 years old. So you can omit years old bit. But in Japanese you can't just say 1 to mean like I'm 1 year old or 30 to mean 30 years old. You have to put put this sai to let the listener know that I'm talking about the age. So let's look at the word 1 year old again. So we say 1歳, right? So we learn the number 1 as 1, right? 1. But unfortunately, we don't say 1歳 because some Japanese people thought it's hard to pronounce 1歳. So it's not that hard, but for some reason we say 1歳, 1歳. So this thing happens where 1 becomes い, like い plus small 2 when we use with a counter. So it's not just for 1 year old, like 1歳. When you want to say one time or once, like one more time, we would say 1回, 1回. So we change the 1 to い small 2 plus 回. So when you see this small 2, you have to pause for a bit. So don't read like 1歳. You have to say 1歳, 1歳. So if you're 1 year old, you'd say 1歳です, 1歳です. Also, when we write age in kanji, we have 2 kanjis for sai. So this and this. Most of the time, adults use this kanji, sai, sai. But because this is quite difficult to write for children, children write sai in this kanji. So if you're 5 years old and you won't have to write an essay about being 5 years old, you probably would use this kanji instead, not the difficult one. Anyway, 1 year old is 1歳, right? So for the rest, there are exceptions, but for most numbers, you just put sai to the numbers we just learned. So regular readings plus sai. So for 2 years old, we say 2歳. So we say 2歳, 2歳. So that's fine, right? So 1歳, 2歳, and then 3 years old, it's normal again. 3歳, 3歳. 4 years old, you can guess. 4歳, 4歳. 5 years old. 5歳, 5歳. 6. 6歳, 6歳. 7. 7歳, 7歳. And then 8 is a weird one again, like 1. When we want to say 8, we normally say 8, right? 8. But when we want to say 8 years old, we say 8歳, 8歳. So again, you change the chi into the small 2. 8歳, 8歳. Yeah, so don't say 8歳. And for 9 years old, we say 9歳, 9歳. And for 10 years old, we say 10歳, 10歳. Again, the u becomes small 2. So we say 10 to mean 10, right? But instead of the last u, we say small 2. So 10歳, 10歳. But this is kind of controversial. In modern Japanese, we say 10歳. If you listen to most people speak, they would say 10歳. But some people might say, no, you can say 10歳, but you have to write 10歳. So you have to get rid of the small u. But it really is kind of an old-fashioned way, and most people definitely would say 10歳. So remember it as 10歳. But if you see a textbook that says 10歳, it's not exactly wrong, but you'd sound weird if you pronounce it like 10歳, because we actually say 10歳. So the exceptions, or the irregular ones, are 1歳and 8歳and 10歳. So when you want to say 11 years old, we think like 10, 1, right? So 11 is how we say 11. But because we say 1歳 for 1 year old, you have to also say 11歳, 11歳. So it's the same if you want to say 21 years old. You want to say 21歳, 21歳. Again, it's the same for 30. You have to say 31歳, 31歳. 41, 41歳, 41歳. 51, 51歳, 51 1歳 and so on. Also, when you want to say 18, 28, 38, 48, we would say 18歳 18歳 28歳 28歳 38歳 38歳 48歳 58歳 and so on. So for 21 we say 21歳, right? But when you want to say 20 years old, we say 20歳 20歳 because when we want to put 10 in front of 歳, we have to change the u into small 2, 10歳. So we do the same for 20, 20歳 20歳. And this 20 years old, 20歳, we also say 20歳 20歳. So when you want to say I'm 20 years old, you can also say 20歳です 20歳です. But you can also say 20歳です 20歳です. But you can't do 21歳 to mean 21 years old. 20歳 is just this special word that only means 20 years old. Yeah, so 20歳 is 20 years old, and 30 you say also 30歳 30歳 40, 40歳 40歳. But if you want to say 41, you'd say 41歳, right? 50, 50歳 50歳. But when you want to say 58, you say 58歳 58歳 or 59, you'd say 59歳 59歳. So 10 becomes 10 only if it's right in front of 歳. And in case any of you are 100 years old, you can say 100歳 100歳. And when you want to say how old are you, in English you say how, right? But in Japanese we use what. How old are you? We say 何歳 何歳. So this 何 comes from the word 何, which means what, right? So we say what year old. 何歳 何歳. And if you want to say this formally, just simply put ですか. So you say 何歳ですか 何歳ですか. And then you can answer like blah blah 歳です like 35歳です. So for age, as long as you're careful with 1, 8 and 10 and 20 kind of, it's good. So you think that these numbers always are regular? Not really. They are often like that, like 8 sometimes come ha plus more 2, right? But for example, when we count times, so 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, like can you say it one more time? Or I've been to Japan 3 times. For these times, we use the counter kai, kai. So 1 time, once, we say 1回 1回. So it's the same with the sai. We change chi into small 2, 1回, right? To mean 1 time. And 8 times, we say 8回 8回. You can actually say 8回 as well, but yeah, both readings are okay. 8回 or 8回. And 10 times we say 10回 10回. So 1, 8, 10, again they are weird ones, but this time 6 also joins. So when you want to say 6 times, you don't say 6回, unfortunately. We say 6回 6回. The 1, 6, 8 and 10 are the ones that you want to be careful this time. So 1回 2回 3回 4回 5回 6回 7回 8回 9回 10回 and 11回 12回 13回 14回 15回 16回 17回 18回 or 18回 19回 20回. Except for 1回 6回 8回, or it can be 8回as well, and 10回, and anything with 10 at the end. The numbers are rather normal, so you say 2回 3回 4回 But yeah, it's something you just have to remember. So this kai is pretty important because you often talk about how many times you've done something. Like how many times have you been to Japan? We'd say 何回日本に来たことがありますか? 何回日本に来たことがありますか? Here it could be 行ったことがありますか? It depends on the location of the speaker. So if the person who asked is in Japan, then they would say kita, because kita is the motion of someone coming towards me. So if you're coming from a different place and coming to a place that I live in, I would say kita, kita. But if I'm not in Japan and let's say I'm in England and I'm talking to another English person, I would say 何回日本に行ったことがありますか? So how many times have you been to Japan? So 行く is always motion away from me. So like going away from me, you'd say 行く. And this past tense plus ことがある is used to talk about your experiences, and it just basically means I've done something before. Anyway, if you want to learn that grammar point, watch a different video. Now we want to focus on the counters. Anyway, 何回 is how we say how many times, right? 何回. So this is quite a common thing to talk about, so you should remember this. But if you don't think you can remember too much, then at least remember 一回, 一回, which means one time. It's very important because when you want to say, please say it one more time, you want to say もう一回言ってください. もう一回言ってください. So this more is also important thing to remember when you learn counters. More normally means already. For example, if I say もう食べた, then that means I already ate. Or if I say もう3月, then that means it's already March. So normally it means already. Or it could mean anymore if you use with negation. So for example, when you want to say I don't want it anymore or I don't need it anymore, you say もういらない, もういらない. This is not the same verb as to exist, いる. It's a different verb, いる. And when you want to say I don't need it, you say いらない, いらない. So もういらない means I don't need it anymore. So here more has to be translated as anymore. But when you use with a counter, so like もう一回, it means one more time. It's actually quite easy to remember because more sounds like more, right? So like もう一回, one more time. Or do you remember how we say one person? I said it at the beginning. 一人, 一人. So when you want to say one more person, we'd say もう一人, もう一人. So if you put more in front of a counter, it means more. So much to remember, but normally, again, if you look up the word more in the dictionary, you'd get the word もっと, もっと. But it wouldn't be used with a counter. You can't say もっと一人 to mean one more person. もっと, for example, is used with an adverb, like if you want to say faster, we say もっと早く, もっと早く. If you want to say a lot more, you want to say もっとたくさん, もっとたくさん. Or I want to eat more, you'd say もっと食べたい, もっと食べたい. So you use this もっと when you're not talking about comparison. Like if you mean like A is better than B, you have to use の方が form, which again, I'm not going to explain here. Please watch a different video. Basically, when you want to say one more something or two more things, you have to use more in front of a counter. So yeah, もう一回 means one more time. So like, I want to see that movie one more time. I would say もう一回あの映画が見たい. もう一回あの映画が見たい. Or I want to go to Japan one more time. I would say もう一回日本に行きたい. もう一回日本に行きたい. Okay, so basically you want to be careful with 1 and 6 and kind of 8. You can also say 8回, so if you wanna ignore that, it's okay too. So 1 and 6 and 10. 1回、6回、10回. Okay, now let's try how to count people, which is also very important because for other things we have something called generic counter where you can use that counter to count most of things, but you can't use any other counter to count people rather than what I'm going to explain now. So I'll say the exceptions first. 1 and 2 would be the regulars. The rest we would say number plus nin. Nin. It's pretty easy to remember because ninja. Ninja. So if you want to say 3 ninjas, for example, we would say 3人のninja. 3人のninja. By the way, we put this no particle to connect with another noun. So 3人のninja. I'm going to explain more about the word order in a minute because although I say 3人のninja here, if we actually put this in a sentence, this changes. Anyway, first, nin is what we use for counting people. And if you look at the kanji, it means person, so this is the one that makes the most sense, right? First, let's try from 3 people. So 3 people, we just say 3人. So 3人, 3人. And 4 people. This is not exactly regular, but it is a little. So 4 we normally say 4, right? 4. But this 4 sometimes becomes yo without the n at the end. So this is the case. 4 people we say 4人, 4人. Unfortunately we can't say 4人. We say 4人, 4人. 5 people 5人, 5人. 6 people 6人, 6人. 7 people 7人 or 7人. 8 people 8人, 8人. 9 people 9人, 9人. 10 people 10人, 10人. So yeah, even 10 is not 10人. It sounds weird to me. 10人. Yeah, so 10, 10, right? So now, how do we say one person? We say 一人, 一人. And 2 people, we say 二人, 二人. So it's not 1人 or 2人, unfortunately. We say 一人 and 二人. You'll see this reading 人 with another counter that I'm going to explain in a minute. But yeah, 一人 and then 2 people we say 二人. Again, 二 you're going to hear with another counter as well. 一人, 二人, 3人, 4人, 5人, 6人, 7人 or 7人, 8人, 9人, 10人, 11人, 12人. I casually just said 11人. But yeah, we don't have to say 11人. That would be wrong. We have to say 11人, 11人 and 12. 12人, 12人, 13, 13人, 13人. 14, 14人, 14人. Again, you have to drop the so 14人. 15, 15人, 15人. 16, 16人, 16人. 17, 17人 or 17人. 18, 18人. 19, 19人. 20, 20人. Okay, so that's enough. Again, you really want to remember how we count people. So, for example, when you want to talk about your family, when you want to say we are a family of 3, we would say 3人家族です. 3人家族です. So it's a compound noun again. We say how many and then plus 家族. So if your family is father, mother, sister, brother, you, then that's a family of 5, right? So you say 5人家族です. 5人家族です. And a family of 4, 4人家族です。4人家族です。When you want to say a family of how many, you just have to put the number first there. But when you want to say, for example, I have 5 friends, we want to use the counters in an actual sentence. For this sentence, we would say 友達が5人います。友達が5人います。When we want to just say I have friends, right? You don't want to specify how many friends you have. You say 友達がいます。友達がいます。友達 means friends and がいます means exist. There are people, like in a park, for example. Then you'd use this がいます. Anyway, if you haven't learned that, please watch this video again. But anyway, let's look at where we put the counter. I said 友達が5人います, right? So I think to learners, this is such a weird place to put a counter in. Like in English, you say, I have 5 friends. You just put the number in front of a noun, which makes sense to me too. But Japanese is a weird language. We like to put counters in front of a verb. So you do the same for any sentences, like I have 10 guests. Then you'd say guests が10 people います。So you'd say お客さんが10人います。お客さんが10人います。Or if I want to say I have more than 300 patrons. Thank you so much. ありがとうございます。Then I would say patron が300人. And then if I want to say more than, then I would put the word 以上. So 300人以上 and then verb います。patron が300人以上います。ありがとうございます。Unless what you're counting is the subject. So I said you put the counter in front of a verb, right? But the order is actually more like what you count and then a particle that you'd need. This particle would depend on the verb that you'd use, but if you'd use a verb like 食べる, then you'd put a verb like or if you're using what you're counting as an object, I'm eating how many of these things, then you'd say what you're counting or how many 食べる. So like I'm eating 3 pancakes. Then we'd say パンケーキ because we are counting pancakes, right? So パンケーキを right? So we normally use the o particle when you want to indicate what you eat. So パンケーキを and then here after the particle we put how many. Pancakes are usually thin, right? They are thick pancakes, I know, but when counting pancakes we normally use a counter 枚. So 3 flat objects we say 3枚. So you'd say パンケーキを3枚食べる。パンケーキを3枚食べる。Then that means I eat 3 pancakes. It's quite important to remember this order. Object and then particle and then counter and verb. But if you want to count the subject, so for example 3 friends or 3 of my friends went to Portugal, for example, then you'd say friends が how many Portugal に went. When you want to say my friends went to Portugal, you'd say 友達はポルトガルに行った or 行きました if you're speaking formally. Or sometimes we also say 友達がポルトガルに行きました. You'd use the が particle here if you are telling this as news. So it's like, hey, guess what? My friends went to Portugal. Then yeah, you'd say 友達がポルトガルに行きました. I also explained this in ga versus wa video, so please watch that. Anyway, if you want to add how many went to Portugal, then you'd say 友達が 3人ポルトガルに行きました。友達が3人ポルトガルに行きました。You can also actually do how many, not what you count as well. So you could also say 3人の友達がポルトガルに行きました。or 3枚のパンケーキを食べました。So perhaps this word order is easier for English speakers because you put the number first and that feels better maybe. Though it's not wrong, so you can definitely say 3人の友達が. It's more common to say 友達が3人ポルトガルに行きました。And this word order might be confusing if there are more than 2 objects. So for example, if you want to say I have 3 older sisters and 2 dogs, then you'd say 姉が3人と犬が2匹います。If you just want to say I have a sister and a dog, or I have sisters and dogs without specifying how many, you can just say 姉と犬がいます。So you simply connect 2 nouns with the to particle to mean and, right? But when we put the counters, you end up saying the ga particle twice. So you say 姉が3 people と犬が2 dogs. That might be strange to you, but that's what happens. Again, you can't say 3人の姉と2匹の犬がいます。So then you don't need to repeat the ga particle if you're going to put the counters in front of a noun. So counter no something to, counter no something, and then finally put ga imasu. But if you want to do more, it's not that it's more natural, it's just more common. You'd say 姉が3人と犬が2匹います. It's the same when we use the o particle. If you want to say I ate 3 pancakes and 1 burger, then you'd say パンケーキを3枚とハンバーガーを1つ食べました。パンケーキを3枚とハンバーガーを1つ食べました。Again, 3枚 is how we count 3 thin objects. And then for a burger, I said 1つ, which I'm going to explain in a minute. This is very useful for counting anything really. Yeah, so ハンバーガーを1つ, or you can also count a burger like 1個食べました. So again, you'd say object or how many と object or how many 食べました. Anyway, let's review how we count people, right? So 1 person, 1人, 2 people, 2人, 3 people, 3人, 4 people, 4人, 5 people, 5人, 6 people, 6人, 7 people, 7人 or 7人, 8 people, 8人, 9 people, 9人, 10 people, 10人. So what you really want to be careful with would be 1人, 2人, and 4人, 4 people, and that's it. So 1, 2, 4 are the kind of weird ones when counting people. Okay, now I'm going to talk about another important counter that you really should remember. So when you don't know how to count things, you can use this つ counter. You can't use this つ for people, but for most objects you can use this つ. Although again, it is best to learn how to count certain, common objects. Like how we say what, a pen, 2 pens, 3 pens, that's quite common enough to us. So you want to remember that. But if you absolutely don't remember how to count a pen or a book, you can kind of cheat with this つ, although it didn't sound like a native. But this つ counter is very useful because when you order things at the restaurant, the counter we use for most things are this つ. But this is very irregular. For each counters, we had some irregular numbers, right? So like usually 1 or 6 or 8 or 10. But this 2 is just nightmare. But once you remember, it's very useful. So let's try. But the good thing, or not really good, but the kind of good thing about this 2 is that there is only from 1 to 9. 10 is kind of something we don't really use. If you want to count things and you have less than 9 of those to count, then you can use this 2 counter. So for example, we would count eggs or apples or a burger or a hat, a lot of things really. Anything that's not long and thin or long and cylindrical, or machine or a book or paper or drink, we would use this 2, right? Because all the things I just said would have each different counters. Anyway, 1 egg, for example, we would say tamago, which is how we say egg. Tamago hitotsu. Tamago hitotsu. Again, even if there is no verb, we like to put the counter after what we count. Tamago hitotsu. Like this recipe needs 1 egg, you'd say like このレシピは卵を1つ使います. Yeah, so hito, if you remember, we used hito for counting 1 person, right? Hitori. So yeah, we say hitotsu for counting 1 generic object. So if you want to say I have 1 hat, you'd say 帽子を1つ持っています. 帽子を1つ持っています. Okay, 2 things, so like 2 burgers. You'd say ハンバーガー2つ2つ. So we use this 2 for 2人 as well, right? 2人. And if you want to say twins, we say 双子双子. But anyway, 2つ is how we say 2 things. So for example, ハンバーガーを2つ食べました. ハンバーガーを2つ食べました. Or if I want to say I have 2 cups, I would say コップが2つあります. コップが2つあります. Okay, 3 would be 3つ3つ. So that's strange, but み small 2 and 2. So 3つ. My favorite numbers are 28 because of my birthday, but whenever I had to write my name with numbers, I used to write my name as 33 because 3 can be read as mi, like mitsu, and also san, right? So it's like misan, but you can kind of pretend that 33 can be read as misa, misa. Anyway, mitsu is 3 things. So if you want, for example, say there are 3 watches, right? Then you say 時計が3つあります. 時計が3つあります. Okay, 4. 4つ4つ. So it's not too bad, right? So it's like 3つ, but instead of mi, we say 4つ. So it's like 4, but instead of 4, we say 4つ. So if, for example, if you want to say 4 nikman please in a convenience store, nikman is like dumpling. Anyway, 肉まんを4つください. 肉まんを4つください. Okay, 5. 5つ5つ. So because 3つ and 4つ uses the small つ, learners tend to think that it's 5つ, but it's not 5つ. The middle one is not the small つ, it's 5つ. So big 2つactually. 5つ. This is the only one that has 2 つ, so you can remember that way maybe. So I have 5 cushions. I would say クッションが5つあります. Okay, 6. 6つ6つ. So it goes back to the small つ. 6つ. Okay, 7 things. 7つ7つ. Perhaps this is the most normal one. 7つ. Never say 7つ. It's only 7つ. 8 things. 8つ8つ. 9 things. 9つ and then 10 things. It's と but I've never ever heard of anyone counting anything with と like I would never say ハンバーガーをと食べました it sounds odd, so although this と exists, we never really use it. Yeah, if I want to count 10 burgers, I would actually say 10個 so we would use this 個 counter, which is also similar to this つ but mainly used to count small objects. After 10, or rather after 9, we would choose different counters. So yeah, let's review the つ counter from 1 to 9. Okay, 1つ、2つ、3つ、4つ、5つ、6つ、7つ、8つ、9つ and と Yeah, so there are a lot more counters, but for now focus on these つ and 人 like how we count people, and also 回 how we count times, 1 time, 2 times, 歳 as years old. In the next video I'm going to talk about more different counters. Thank you for watching. Look forward to the next video. じゃあまたね。バイバイ。